It's the history of the Tottenham. What we
How you doing, everyone? Sorry, my computer is freezing up like crazy, so I had no idea. I haven't known what's been going on for like a minute. I've just been sitting here with everything frozen in front of me. So I don't know if that got butchered, but anyway.
It landed eventually.
It flopped. It flopped.
No. It most definitely got butchered. It most definitely did.
It landed eventually.
In fairness, I pressed go, and then all my computer screens froze. I got like, I haven't seen this in years. Because I haven't had analog TV. I got rice and peas all over my screen, right? I don't know what was going on. I was expecting to see an alien come through, and then just you six were sitting in front of me. So yeah, there we are. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. It's the betvictor Top 6 show live at 6. We are all here. It is live. I'm just checking. We had mad Wi-Fi issues today as well. Lots to delve into. I want to welcome Torch to his first betvictor Top 6 show. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, Terry. Thank you for having me on. Big up everyone on the panel. Patrick, big up Gal, and not too sure of the other two names. Big up you two as well, and big up Terry for having me on.
Not a problem. Big Liverpool fan. Just let everyone know what you support, where they can find you, please, my friend.
Yeah, I support Liverpool my whole life, and you can find me out at outside Anfield on literally every platform, probably barring Twitter. So that's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah. I've got a comment here that says, I'm unsubscribing from the Terrace because I was treated unfairly. I hope Terry sees this. Bye-bye, so sad. Mods blocked me for no reason. Well, I know the other day that Neeks blocked you. And if Neeks did it, like if he timed you out, it must have been for a real reason. But I'm sorry you feel that way. I'll have a chat with Neeks. But thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. Where to start today? There's so much to delve into. Well, hang on a sec. We've got to obviously give everybody, because a lot of people listening on the podcast, I don't see it. So we're going to be speaking about RALF Rangnick and this job offer about him maybe permanently taking over. We're also going to be looking at, of course, Tottenham being in the mud today. Like Adama Traore was done. Pretty much done. Everybody was confident it was going to be over the line. I saw a tweet saying, here we go. I expected to see the lily white shirt, and I didn't. I saw broke back Barcelona. Broke Barcelona signing another player. Tottenham in the mud again. Spursy doing their thing. We're going to speak about Donny's loan move. Will Man United be signing anybody? We're going to be reviewing Arsenal's transfer window as well. Hopefully with a little bit more success than yesterday. And I promise I'm not going to dig too deep. So I do apologize for my behavior yesterday. I am very sorry. And I'm sorry, Jess, if I embarrassed you on the show. So very, very sorry indeed. So we've got loads to go through. On the show. Are you joking about Ralph? I mean, I'm not joking. It's a real story that's trending, but we'll get into it. But KJ, where do you want to start, bro? Where do you want to start?
I want to start. It's got nothing to do with the show. Happy flashback Champions League Varane day, people. All you FIFA 22 players, the best centre-back of the game is here, and I cannot wait. Everyone in the chat, big up Varane and that. You know what it is. All you FIFA players, I know you're in there. Team of the year is lit. Let's go. That's what I wanted to say. I'm gassed.
Am I the only one who doesn't understand what he's talking about?
No, because you man don't play FIFA Ultimate Team.
I get it.
It's I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think what it is that KJ sat here with the dolts, and we're all sitting there. I don't get it. Like Freya. Freya.
Hey, bro, fam, she probably knows more than you about life than you, fam. So, and
she probably does. She's a woman. She's far more educated in life than me. No, I'm only joking. I mean, it's one of them ones. FIFA. If you play FIFA, you got what KJ said. Cool. I'm going to you first, KJ, and this RALF Rangnick to get the permanent Man United job. Does this worry and scare you?
Hell yes. Listen, people have told me, don't worry about that article. It's from Neil Custis and the Sun. The Sun is trash. Blah, 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 blah. First of all, I've got to a point now where every article has a smidgen of truth somewhere. I don't know how much, but there's something in there for a reason. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised. 2, Neil Custis actually is very well connected when it comes to Man United news. Like, he was very, especially around with Jose as well. Like, he was very connected as well. And 3, Do we even pull it past these idiots that run our football club to actually do this? And if your answer is yes, then you are correct. Or are you wrong? No, you are correct. Anyway, my point is this. We are not surprised. I am not surprised that this has come out, because this is something that they would do. They would do that. Manchester United has been run terribly for years. And I would not be surprised at all if by the end of the season, they see top 4, they see a little bit of harmony in the squad. I'm like, actually, we don't need Ten Hag. We don't need Pochettino. We don't need Ralph to come in upstairs and fix us, because we're top 4 now. We're great. We're good again. We're back. Like, I can literally see the Man United board thinking that. And I don't, people saying, oh, but Arnold, he's gonna stay away from the football matters. He's gonna allow Murtaugh, Fletcher, and Rangnick to cook. Bruv, who is Richard Arnold? Yo, bun him, fam. Until he proves it to me, he's still a pagan. So until he proves to me that he's literally allowing the football men to make football decisions, I do not trust him. I don't trust the Man United board, and this could very much happen. And if it does, I will be sad, because it don't matter if Rangnick wins the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and World Cup all at the same time. He should not be given the permanent job for Manchester United.
If he's winning all of those, he's done well, though, right? That would make him one of the best managers in history.
He's done good, but yo, go upstairs, bro. Go where you belong.
Can you imagine he becomes the most successful first half-season manager in the history of football? Go. Like, I hear you. Gal. Let me ask you this, Gal.
Yeah.
Ralf Rangnick stays as a rival. Are you happy about that news? Stays as manager, are you happy about that news?
100%, because at this point, Ralf, it shows that your club doesn't have any direction or plan, or what they say, and their transparency is not there. Because originally his idea of coming in, the reason why it was sold to you guys, and the reason why you accepted a manager who hasn't been a person who hasn't actually been managing football for 4 years to be your manager, is because you viewed him as somebody who could come and steer the ship afterwards and help you hire the next manager and get everything sorted out backstage. So if he's not working backstage and he's actually up front and managing, it's more of an issue because of the age gap, the fact that he's not getting along with players, and the issues that have already been arising. In my opinion, if he gets top 4 or even gets you guys an FA Cup, he should still not be your manager. You should still go get better for your club. But if you get him, it's better for us, because there's going to be more disharmony at Manchester United.
Yeah, I hear that. Just a quick message to the mods. I'm seeing things get hid by people that are not rude. If someone wants to call KJ a clown, don't hide it. Like, with all due respect, like that stuff isn't offensive. If you find that offensive, it's not offensive in life. That's not a nasty thing to say. It's someone's opinion. That sort of stuff does not get suppressed. It's racism and sexism. If you think calling someone clowns are not a race, I'm sure they're not. Like,
and homophobia, just in case anyone says, "Oh, but they don't care."
Yeah. Like proper bigotry. Do you know what I mean? KJ being called a clown is not one of them. It's true as well.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
It's my hey, people. I'm here to entertain. So calling me a clown fuels me. Keep it more.
K Jester. That's what we call you now. K Jester. That's what the J stands for. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, none of that, please, moderators. Like, just do you know what I say to the moderators? Just watch the show and relax. Don't chat to each other. Relax. Watch the show and chill. Like, honestly, have a good time. What are you saying, Jess, about this Rangnick news? Do you think this is just noise to try and distract from the transfer window? Because it was only two weeks ago, the same newspapers were telling us the squad hates him. He's not going to survive the end of the year. What was your take? Do you think Man United will make the mistake of keeping him as the permanent manager? Or do you think it's not a mistake, maybe? Like, what's your take?
It probably would be a mistake. He's not really the guy that you need, actually coaching in the dugout. But it could just be a little bit of, there's not much going on during the transfer window, so let's just throw this little nugget out here and see what happens. And that happens when there's not a lot going on. The media like to get certain fan bases riled up. Manchester United is one of them, so just to play a little bit of devil's advocate, it could just be that. We all know that just a couple of days ago, they were talking about Pochettino and Ten Hag. To do an about face like this and start to consider Ralf Rangnick just because you're halfway through the season and you're in top 4, you just got there, it's too long of a season to be, trying to have him be the manager now. Like, it would just be really weird. So for me, I think this is a little bit of, can we get people to click on a link? You know, not much going on at Manchester United in terms of transfers. So let's see what we can do. But if they do that, even if you guys do make the top 4 and they do go with Ralf Rangnick, that is exactly what we expect Manchester United to do if they haven't changed, you know, and the whole point of Ralf was to show that you guys have changed. And so if you hire him, it just kind of shits in the face of it. So yeah, I mean, if they hire him, good luck.
You know what it is?
I love
You know
it.
what
Love
Jess?
it.
I don't think.
Sweet corn and everything, bro.
Oh man.
Some people enjoy that though, you know. Some people love
Oh,
that.
stop
please,
it.
please.
I don't know who they are. I don't
Jesus.
know no one, but some people love that.
But you know what it is, Jess? Like, I don't think you're right. Media does like throw things out there to like get fan bases riled up, but I don't think it's like a fabricated story, as in like it's not true at all. I think what's happened is Ralf is like the backup plan of the backup plan of the backup plan of the backup plan. If they can't get their number 1 target, I can still see them being like, oh crap, we haven't got a guy. We haven't got the guy we want. Ralf, you just stay there until we do. And I think someone like Costas has heard that and now have exaggerated it, saying, well, they've put everything on hold so that Ralf can see what Ralf can do to the end of the season. I don't think that is.
Yeah. There's a chance that if you can't get Ten Hag and you can't get Pochettino, that Ralf will stay until you guys can get somebody else, but he can't stay. I just don't see how that makes sense unless your long-term target is somebody like Nagelsmann, who that's the only manager I could see you guys really waiting for. Other than that, like, you've got to, and Manchester United have enough money out there maybe to be able to get pretty much whoever they want. And the other thing about Ralf is he's probably the cheaper option as well. You have to look at that. So they may go for the cheaper option that could get you into top 4. He got you there, but like, he's not going to take you to the next level. So yeah, this would be kind of a weird thing, but he's probably on the list, but he should be very low down, and he should only be a real viable option if you can't get anybody else and your long-term target can be got in like a couple of years.
I think Mancini, Enrique, and Nagelsmann, like I said, I think the 3 managers you probably wait for like after World Cup / after Nagelsmann's done.
KJ, but one thing you just mentioned, you just had Ollie, who was an interim manager, who you gave the job long term. If you guys give Ralf the job as interim after being an interim, also that just shows you guys don't have planning, because everyone who comes into the job continuously is getting the long-term job until the next person. So how many interns are you going to get until you get an actual real manager?
Until as long as the Glazers want to do that. Like, honestly, bro, like, you're preaching to the choir here. I know this. That's why I'm not shutting it down and saying it's nonsense. No, it is possible because we've seen it in the past. I don't trust the club, and the fact that they could have a plan and then scrap it last minute ain't no surprise and no shock to nobody. So I agree.
And this is one of the reasons why we go back to the Ollie in, Ollie out debates. People, and I know this sounds harsh, but people don't have the propensity to look beyond the end of their nose. Low hanging fruit, key stage 1, basic bitch football analysis. Sack one manager and bring in a better one and you definitely improve. No, not very in a structure. Not if you don't allow that. People keep saying to me, "Oh, you're praising things that Ralph's doing, but you've got no hope in returning back to the top," because they're 2 different things. Ralph's got the ability to take Man United back to the top if he's moved upstairs and if he is listened to. These 2 things for me are cast iron because he's got a record of doing that. But I don't think this story. I think we are looking at other managers. I think KJ's more on the point of he could stay on because Ralph said it from day one. He may stay on if they can't bring in the right person. If Ten Hag says no and Poch says no, you don't want to be going down that pecking order if actual Nagelsmann's next, but we might have to wait another year. Okay, well, Ralph, you stay in. But as long as there is a plan and we can kind of fill that, it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But it's trusting Man United's board to stick with that and progress in the right way. Viewers, I know we're having a talk. Are you there with us? Because you've been in and out a few times.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I lagged out the first time. Yeah, no, I'm still there.
Yeah, what are you saying about this? I mean, do you think Ralph would be a good appointment for United, or do you think they have to bring in like a top grade manager with him working alongside them as sort of a
honestly,
deal?
Yeah. The way I see it is when Ralph first come to United, like a lot of United fans were pretty gassed, mainly because under United, they haven't had a progressive style of play. Like, they haven't had a manager that said, this is how we're going to play matches, no matter who we're playing. This is how United play. We're going to dictate matches against anyone. So from a rival fan's point of view, I think that's what scared me the most. Man United coming with a new octane, high-pressing football style and progression underneath Ralph. I think it's a bit too early to say that he is the man or is not the man. The last few results haven't been the worst. You're getting them. Obviously, the style of play could be a little bit better. But for me, I think United should keep with Ralph, because apart from like Ten Hag or Pochettino, there's not that many proven managers out there that are playing attractive football. And I think he's the guy long-term to bring that stability back to United. After maybe a 2-3 year period, he can go back into the backroom staff, have a talk with the manager, say, this is how we're going to play through the youth ranks. Because honestly, that's what I think United need moving forward.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I do. Look, we're going to talk a bit of Man United a little bit later when we kind of do the transfer roundup as they were. But two clubs heavily immersed in transfers this month. They've been at the forefront of most of the conversations, have been Tottenham and Arsenal. And I want to start with, we had a comment that come in here from Sean who said, Terry, can we discuss why Vlahovic rejected Arsenal and Adama Rejects rejected Spurs? And I think we've got to start with Spurs because, like, I don't know what that is. You guys, you're going to do stuff in your offices, people. Just mute your mics before you do anything, please. What's happened, Patrick? You've been rejected. It feels like William 2.0. He was basically having the medical. Do you know what I mean? What happened? Did you run out of baby oil? What's going on, bruv?
Listen, this is the thing. Like, I'm actually annoyed at a player that I didn't even want. I'm just annoyed at the whole process because I didn't even want Adama Traore. I was excited to see how he could line up, obviously, with better players. So, you know, Adama running at players with Kane, Son, and possibly Lucas Moura running off him. That was quite enticing. But other than that, didn't really care about Adama, if I'm being honest. But it's the whole fact that on the 27th of January, we were looking at this guy in the summer. It's now a whole month later, and he was our main target. And then now he's gone to Barcelona. And Barcelona were literally linked to him yesterday. Bish, bosh, bang, they've got him. And you see him all suited and booted, all like, you know what I mean? Hench in the picture. Boom, he's in Barcelona colours. And I'm like, how did this happen when he was meant to be Conte's main target? We've now got a DOF in Paratici, who's meant to be one of the best DOFs in the world. And allegedly Levy had stepped back from all of the shenanigans and let these guys get on with it and cook, as we've been saying. And still we're getting pipped. How do we lose out to a club that can't make signings? I thought Barcelona were broke and they couldn't even make any signings. But yet they... they pipped us. They can't even afford to sign players and register players. I thought Morata couldn't get signed and regired, but yet they signed Traore. I just don't understand it, man. And it's just it's mad.
Do you know the face I feel is like on Arsenal fans, on Tottenham fans' faces? You know Will Smith's entanglement face. I'm saying it's that. Yeah, I mean that. It's like I didn't even want you. I know that's the thing. I'm in pain.
It's mad because he's not. Obviously, he's an exciting player on his day. We've seen what he's done against Man City. He even had a good game against us, but he didn't score. Or I can't remember. He scored in one of the games against us. But on his day, he's brilliant, isn't he? But you know, he's 26 now, and his days are quite hit and miss. But it's just the fact that we've been linked with him all year. I was getting round to the idea that he could come in and he's a different option. He's something different. And I wanted to, he's kind of like in that Maximin type of mode. I know Maximin's better than him, but he's kind of like that player. He's quick, he's fast, can dribble, go either way. And you just want to see what his obviously end result is. And if it can get better, being around better players. But the fact that we lost out to him, it's criminal, man. We've got 3 or 4 days left. If we don't get some good players in, I'm actually gonna riot. Like we're going down to White Hart Lane, and yeah, man, it's gonna be on because this is not acceptable. It's mad. It's actually, it's honestly. Like,
Patrick,
it's
you man you should be inviting. You should be inviting from time.
I wanted to be decent, and I've been Levy out for years, but I was like, you know what? Let me take a back seat. We've now the stadium's done. We got in Conte. We've got a DOF in. I thought things would be different this January window, but it's been exactly the same shit. And we've got 3 or 4 days left. I'm just keeping calm and not trying to lose my shit. And obviously, I'm seeing spaces getting created where people are like, do you know what I mean? They're losing it already. I'm just trying to be a bit calm and a bit measured because
No.
something could
Nah,
happen.
it
don't
all
be.
out.
Let it
Let
go,
it all
man.
out.
Oi,
Let it
But
out.
honestly,
the reason
it's-
why you Spurs fans never are able to come together and protest because of exactly this. Oh, we just want to
No,
be
no,
nice.
trust me.
and
We've
like your
no,
football
we've
team.
been
You man are wet,
but
bro.
it,
Like,
no,
get
no, no.
off
Stop
your
that. Stop
bums,
that. There's no,
march
no.
over
Stop,
to
stop
that stadium
No,
and riot the
At
thing,
the
bro.
end of the day, it don't make sense right now.
AJ.
Rioting. The window's still open. At the end of the day,
AJ,
stuff
chill.
could still get done. But as it stands right now, it's
Yeah, but
embarrassing.
Patrick,
I can't
let
lie.
that's
them-
the
let
point,
them
though. That's the
protest.
point. It
Let
shouldn't
them
matter if
protest.
things still get done, bro. You should be out there anyway. That's
Yeah,
the
but we
reason.
could, but we could get better than Traore.
Yeah,
That's the
I get that,
thing. We could get better.
Restrictions have been lifted now. Restrictions have been lifted. You guys can so gather together. You know, what I mean, no one even cares. You're not wearing masks anymore. There's no more excuses for these things. But do you know what's mad, right? I saw this last night, and actually I saw this morning, but it was from last night. As soon as I saw it earlier, I smelt this rat, right? Obviously, there's the Luis Diaz rumors that Man United might come in and hijack. I don't believe that. But someone sent me a link saying, late last night, the Tottenham Tier 1 started talking about Luis Diaz has always been the priority, not Adama Traore. As soon as I heard that, I was like, they're missing out on him. And then you start to think back to the original rhetoric. This is where fans have got to stop, and I'm going to keep saying this. Get off the breast. Stop drinking the breast milk. Get off of it, right? You've got to get off of it because the PR teat, get it out of your mouth. Get that nipple out of your gob because you guys weren't signing Adama Traore to be an attacker. You were signing him to be a right back or a right wing back. Diaz is playing in a different role to what you profiled him for. That's the thing for me. Suddenly, I'm not seeing any of that in the write-ups. It's, oh, no, actually, Luis Diaz was the guy we've always preferred. And because we've put attention on him, Adama's gone somewhere else. It's like, no, bro, no one is buying that. At the end of the day, you dragged your feet. You're trying to save some pennies, which I understand every club tries to do. But you've been stung again. This is weird.
Try and be diplomatic. You're saying every club tries to do it. No club tries to like penny pinch like we do, and that's why we've lost out on so many deals over the years. Like at the end of the day, Wolves wanted 27 million. We were offering 20, 21, 22. If you really want the player, just pay the cash and get him in. What's all the fucking about? And it's just crazy because it's the same stuff over and over and over again. And the fact that now we're trying to turn around and say, Adama wasn't sure, he didn't want to play right wing back. We've been talking to this guy all summer and all January. There's no way he would have agreed terms and we would have been this far advanced if he didn't know what position he's going to play. That's all nonsense. And it's us just trying to save face because we're embarrassing and we've embarrassed ourselves yet again. Like, it's mad. It's mad. Like,
Patrick, let me say this, right? I'm going to get this out first. If you guys do protest, I would love to see it because the comedy that's going to come from it, I'm already waiting for that Twitter account. You know my guy. He's going to come there, record all you guys, and there's going to be a banjo playing. It's going to be hilarious all over. If we protest, it's going to be proper, not that nonsense you saw last time where it's like I expect it to be the same as last time.
That last one was mad.
Patrick, my man went shopping before. He was at.
You had a guy.
He had the Tottenham bag on him, and he was it was embarrassing.
Listen,
I don't know why.
Enough about your protest. Talk about Adama Traore now.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't want him, the reality is, just like you guys were making fun of Arsenal the other day with the Vlahovic deal, you guys can't even get your own house sorted out. You have the Undembele situation. You have the Dele Alli situation. You have Steven Bergwijn flirting with Ajax, even though he just saved you guys against Leicester. The reality is your team is not going to sign any players until players start leaving. And the moment I see Undembele go on loan, or Dele Alli go this way, or Steven Bergwijn go that way, that's when I'm actually going to probably see a Tottenham signing to balance the books. I don't think Tottenham are that team to go out and splash the cash in a January window when you don't even do it in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're right, to be fair. Like, I mean, I saw a stat and I was shocked and then I wasn't. And it said 6 out of the last 10 January windows, we haven't signed or strengthened. And I was like, wow, that's 60% of January windows. And in every January window, it's like we've been flirting for top 4. Obviously, in other years, we've been like there or thereabouts. But in every January window, if we would have pushed on, we would have obviously had a better season. And Daniel Levy sees this.
I know what you're coming from, but if you look at most clubs, 6 out of 10, you would probably it's probably normal. I'm not trying to say you guys are good. You guys aren't good. You know what I mean? But January business is just normally whack anyway. Like, it's really weird circumstances that you see massive transfers.
Look, I agree with that, and but it's about opportunities that present themselves. Now,
Exactly.
these Tottenham deals are so far down the line. This is the betvictor top 6 show, so we do look at the odds on things. All the heavily linked players to Tottenham. So as of yesterday, when I was prepping the show, all bets for Adama Traore were suspended. You couldn't bet on it anymore. Amrabat, you can't bet on it anymore. Diaz, you can't bet on it anymore. Like they've literally suspended all bets because it's the news has been so strong that you're that close to getting these players. You've got to get these deals over the line. If you by any chance end up losing out on Luis Diaz now, if Man United did a madness, if Liverpool come in and go, okay, we'll pay 35-40 million now, and you lose out on him, it's going to be calamitous. And where I agree though with you, Patrick, I get where KJ is coming from, and you're right. Some Januaries though you have to buy.
Exactly.
And if you go back to a very famous example, was in the January of the season where Leicester won the league. If Arsenal would have gone big and got in some extra quality, in my opinion, they would have won the league. I look at this January, and I'm a Man United fan who is praying your deals fall through. I am personally happy that Arsenal haven't signed anybody of note yet, because you two are letting us off the hook. If you added extra quality with how long Arsenal have been together and how they've been playing in the majority of games, and with the manager you've got, I would be very, very fearful because of all the problems at Manchester United. You guys are letting us off and we've seen the last 3 games since Man United have settled a bit more into this 4-3-3. We're not playing the most scintillating football, but with our quality, we're going to win the vast majority of games. We've almost gone back to how we were under Ollie, not playing amazing, but able to get results. And I just look at it and think, how are these 2 teams from North London just letting Manchester United off the hook? And that's where I think you have to act, because there's an opportunity and a door's ajar, and you've got to put your foot in there and squeeze through.
Exactly. We're not serious, man. And this is what pisses me off as well about Levy, is that he's just a businessman, and that's it. And every time when there's football in, like when there's a chance to be brave and actually push yourself out there, he always takes the cowardly route. Like the time when we got rid of Dembele in January. Dembele was our best player. He was that game changer, someone that could get you out of a tight situation. He could see a pass that wasn't there. He could obviously break presses and break lines. And we got rid of him in January because we didn't want to potentially lose him on a free in the summer. But he was the guy that would have got us back into that top 4. And even in the Champions League final against Liverpool, he's that guy that can make that difference. But again, we're just so short-sighted. And Terry, you're right. If we can get in some quality right now, it will make the difference. That 4th spot is still there. It's up for grabs. Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United. I don't think West Ham are good enough to push there, but the other 3, it's in the mix, and it's just about who can strengthen right now. I think all 3 teams are as good as each other right now.
This is why I don't back Tottenham and Antonio Conte's project to work out, because come a year down the line, when his contract is pretty much almost over, you're not gonna be backing him enough for him to stay. If he couldn't get Juventus to back him enough, and he called them a cheap club, and he made fun of Chelsea not backing him, even though they spent all that money, there's gonna be an issue with Antonio Conte and Tottenham. And to me, it's a match made in hell. It's not made in heaven.
Hey, listen, brother, you put on a great point there. Like, there's some times in life, there's certain people you can date that are all in it for you might be a wealthy guy, might be a wealthy woman, and someone wants to be with you because they like the life. They want the bags, they want the cars, they want the house, they want these things. Without that, they're not overly interested. And do you know what? That's fine. That's the way people are. If you get into a relationship with Antonio Conte, he wants you to spend money and he wants you to buy him the gifts that he wants. If that all stops and it dries up and you're saying, right, we're not going to the Ritz, we're going to go to the Harvester. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to go to Waitrose, we're going Asda. These are English references. If you're not from England, you might not kind of get them. But he's going to walk away. He's going to say, that isn't where I want to be, and more power to him. Like, Antonio Conte needs Tottenham to act like a big club for him to stay in.
Exactly.
It reminds me of early Jose Mourinho. Give him what he wants, and he will bring you success. As soon as you start to mess him about, he'll fall out with his team. He'll fall out with the board. It'll all come crashing down. What annoys me is that these football clubs ignore what every single person what one of us can see, and
it's common sense, man.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Sorry, Conte walks at the end of the season.
Boy, let's see what happens first, though. But I don't know. But basically, I agree with everything you lot are saying. That's the thing. I can't even sit here and like be wrong and strong, because when we signed Conte, when we got him in after we didn't get him in the summer, I'm like, cool. Obviously, Levy must have negated on what he went back on what he said in the summer, and we got a DOF in. He's going to step back and he's going to let us do what we need to do to strengthen and push on. And the fact now is the 27th, 28th tomorrow, and we're still messing about, and we still haven't really been linked and got any quality in. It's pretty much looking exactly how it's always been. And someone as good as Conte is not going to stick around. Why would you? Why would you hang out for this rubbish? It doesn't make no sense.
Mate, I hear you. We've got some super chats I want to do here. First one says, Terry, how is this a top 6 show? Arsenal and Spurs aren't top 6. Where's Paul, Chelsea, City, and West Ham fans? Take these clowns out of here.
This guy's an idiot.
We're in the top 6 now. What are you talking about?
Level and point to Arsenal. So it's mad. What's he on about?
And equally, the top 6 is a phrase. It just literally means that the top 6 biggest teams in the UK, and I'm not talking historically with trophies. I'm just talking money, status, and all of that. They are them. Until Leicester probably had a chance. We did speak about this 2 seasons ago. If Leicester would have maintained their charge and got Champions League 2 years running, they'd have been inducted, because we did for a while go to the top 6 plus 1. But Leicester have gone out of that again already because they've faded away. If West Ham stay for another year or 2, we'll do a +1 again. And then the lowest team out of the original top 6 will become the +1. That's it all. Nabil here.
Can I just say one thing as well, Terry, about that? I do believe that the top 6 clubs is in the typical top 6. I believe that will be the top 6 this season. I can't call who's going to finish 4th, 5th, or 6th, but it will still be Tottenham.
Sorry, Pat. One of us 3 is flopping, brother. It's just
I don't believe it.
Like,
West Ham.
Last year, Arsenal flopped. Before that,
I agree
Arsenal
with
flopped
KJ.
again.
I think one of us are not going to make it, because I think West Ham is going to limp over the line.
West Ham
in
will
one of
fall
the
off
positions.
now. I think.
And you know what?
I thought they were going to fall off, but they haven't.
I'll keep saying it until they're mathematically out of it. Wolves are lurking. They are creeping in the back. I know you guys are shaking your head, but you would have shook your head ages ago, thinking Man United is in the position that we are in, thinking that Spurs and Arsenal will be in the positions that they're in. They are lurking. They are creeping about. And if they find form and win their games in hand, because everyone's games in hand FC right now, if they do that, they're up there with everyone else.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I mean, let's bring Wolves into the conversation when they've actually touched the top 6 at some point in the season. I don't think they've actually touched it yet. West Ham are like the real. That's
contender.
who we need to be looking at. Like they're
Cool,
here.
Cool. I hope they dunk on your head.
I hear you. I do hear what you're saying, and viewers, I want your opinion on this. Everyone tuning in, we always do top 4 like bets on this show. Who is making the top 6? We want to know from you now. Get your comments in. Of course, member chats, super chats. We'll always prioritize them. But I want to take a look at the odds here. Let's take a look at the odds here. This is a top 6 finish. Arsenal and Man United and Spurs are all 9-2 on. 9-2 on, which means you've got to bet £9 to win 2, which doesn't make it an attractive bet. West Ham, though, at 6-4. KJ's bet there of Wolves at 5-1 represents a very good return if you fancy that. And do you know what? I haven't got the link for that in the description because it wasn't something we had planned to talk about, but I'm going to put it into the live comment section now. I'm going to type it in. I'm going to bear with me while I type this out. Who will finish in? I can't even spell right, and the writing's so small. Finish in the top 6. It's the odds, right? I've shared the link now in the live comment section. I'll even pin it into the live comment section as well, so you guys can go and take a little look yourselves, because Wolves and West Ham represent the best value, as you can see, in terms of a flutter and a bet, because there's a decent return there. But as far as where people always say what the odds mean. Well, the odds show you where people are putting their money. The odds show you where the general football fan that's putting a little bit of money up, where it's going. And Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, they're in alphabetical order, because that's why I'm saying it's alphabetical order, right? They're there. Could West Ham or Wolves do it? I want to hear from you and see what you've all got to say on that. I really, really do. I mean, in terms of like Arsenal, though, Igal, because in terms of your top 4 finish, like top 4, top 6, you haven't signed anybody yet. All the deals that look like they could happen seem to be petering away. Where's your head at with this, and how do you think it's going to impact sorry, 1 second here. No, 9-2 on means the other way. So against, not against, but yes, I mean it's 2-9. It's 9-2 on, not against. The other way is against. But anyway, sorry. But Gal, where do you think how do you think this is going to impact the rest of Arsenal season? Looking like you're not going to sign anybody.
I think we still have 4 days left in the window. Actually, if you don't exclude today, 3 days left. I think 100% we're probably still going after a midfielder. And if we can, it would be a luxury to bring in a striker at this point, but it's going to be unlikely to sign both a striker and a midfielder. So if we do bring in a midfielder, I think we're still in the mix. We're still up there, and I still think we're one of the favorites for top 4. And I still do think Chelsea will also drop into the top 4 race. So when it comes down to it, I think Arsenal's hopes are still up there, and everyone else is just looking at this window saying, oh, there's 4 days left. You haven't done nothing yet. But in all reality, the back end of the window is where you see majority of the business being done. And we did a lot of business last year at the last minute of the window, and I expect us to do business again this season in the January window. Arsenal, over the past couple of seasons, have been known for doing deals in the window, even though it's been loans. We got Dani Ceballos. We got Odegaard, we got Pablo Mari and Cedric. We even got Dennis Suarez. We got Aubameyang, Hendrik Mkhitaryan. We've done a lot of deals in the January window, so I expect us to do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. I think you need that. Not to secure top 6. I still think Arsenal will make the top 6. Top 4 definitely needs a signing there. We have some comments here that I want to go back to. I don't want to miss these. First one here says, Terry, do the Rashford to PSG rumor have any legs? Just DM'd you an article. Did you know if it's true? Look, listen, everyone who hates Rashford is going to say that this story is a complete and utter lie. It comes from I've seen your thing you've sent through. It comes from a fairly credible source, as far as I believe. But look, it is what it is. Of course, I think the article says that he was flattered and, interested. Yeah, of course, to see what happens. Players have to keep their options open. We've got to remember, clubs aren't as loyal as players. People always talk about players being loyal. Clubs are far less loyal than anybody else out there, if that makes sense. So from my point of view, like I wouldn't, it's just one of them things for me. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And of course, big clubs have looked at Rashford because he's a quality player. VVD is a GOAT January transfer. Firstly, because it's VVD. Also duped Man United to splash even more on Maguire, thinking they were getting their own version. KJ is spitting facts. Wolves have won 4, drawn 1 in their last 5. No team outside of City are in better form over the last month or so.
That's not true. We're in better form than them. If you look at Conte only lost 1 of his last 10 games. So again, I don't know, man. I just don't buy it. Personally.
You know what it is? The reason why Arsenal fans and Spurs fans are the ones saying, nope, not Wolves, because it's getting a bum shock. Another challenger.
Not even that. I just don't see it. I just don't think they got the quality. Like West Ham, we could say, yeah, we've seen them last year, and West Ham pretty much are there or thereabouts. I just don't see Wolves.
But we're acting like Wolves didn't finish 7th 2 seasons ago.
The only reason why you're talking up Wolves is because they beat you, and after they beat you, now you're shocked.
Right, no, me talking about Wolves because I'm sure. I'm talking about Wolves because it's flipping facts. They've got a game in hand, and if they win that game in hand, they go above. They could go above West Ham.
Two things can be mutually exclusive. They beat you, and now you're shocked. It makes sense.
No, I'm not shocked. Your fam, Wolves beat us. They've beat us before anyway. It is what it is, bruv. You man are shocked because you're not willing to admit that they're on our asses, bruv. They are. It's just facts.
I guess I think that would make a little bit more sense if people wouldn't be willing to speak on West Ham as well. Like if we said, oh, no West Ham, no Wolves, no Leicester, no Villa, then I think that would make more sense. But for me, Wolves actually would have to touch the top 6 first for me to be. I get that they're in good form, but all of us have went through bouts of really good form. Spurs are in very good form. We had probably one of the best forms in December. We went through a tough period in January. They'll go through another tough period. And the difference between the top teams and the teams that are below is that they go through these moments where they look good and then they fall off. And so they have to sustain that. And I can't see them sustaining that with what they have right now. But if they touch the top 6 and they stay there until March, then yeah, then for me, but
Wait,
I mean,
mathematically, they've been doing
mathematically,
their
there's a lot of people that could make the top 6.
No, it's not.
You know?
Yeah, and they're one of them. So I don't see why you guys are.
Do you know what? Where I would agree with Wolves for a long time now, a good 2 months, are barely conceding goals. And we all know when you've got that solid backline and the defense is good, like you've got an opportunity and a chance. I think the one thing for Wolves, it's scoring the goals, and they've lost Adama Traore. He weren't even a goal scorer, but he was another outlet. It's what they do, what they bring in to put it in the back of the net. But there is a chance there. Look, and I look at it this way. If any one of Man United, Arsenal or Spurs finish outside that top 6, whoever's in charge, I mean, Man United, we're not going to have our manager anyway. We're going to bring someone new in. I think Conte walks and, Arteta has to be sacked. You can't be, our squads are superior to anybody else that can knock us out. We have to be top 6 or bust, really, for me, for any of these teams. It's a calamity for us to be out of it. It really is. I think this year. I really, really do. Here it's Red Wolf says City. It says City, LFC, Chelsea, Wolves, West Ham. Can you? Imagine that happened. It's not going to happen. You're telling me Wolves are getting 4th? Come on, can you imagine? Oh wow. This show would be brilliant then. I've got to find a Wolves fan. It will definitely be intriguing to see what happens there. We have another super chat that's just come through here. It says Wolves have Spurs, Arsenal, and West Ham in February. This is largely going to sort itself out in the next month or so. I mean, that's true. Can you imagine they beat them all? Can you imagine they beat them all? That'd be hilarious. That would be. I don't see it though. I don't see Wolves winning all those games, but we will see. Sorry, I tried a comment that just made me die. Without any signings this window, Arsenal will finish 8th. Do you have any fear of that happening at all, Jess? That without any signings, could you imagine? Do you have any fear or worries about finishing 8th for a 3rd season running?
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I think that we've seen that without our main players, we don't look the same. So if we don't get the midfield signing, which for me was always the most important, I know some people felt the striker was. I think we were playing pretty good without, we haven't played with a striker like the entire season. So for me, it's more about the midfield and what happens when Thomas Partey and Xhaka are not there. And if we don't get a midfielder, I think we lessen the chances of us being able to sustain what we had in December. Our best form was in December, and it was because those 2 guys were available. We played like 7 games and we won 5, scored 20 goals and only gave up 6. And that was because we had that stability. And to bank our entire season kind of on those 2, I feel like is very naive of Edu and Arteta, really, because we played over 25 games this season, and they've only been available to play together 7 times. That's almost like a 5th, like, you know what I mean? So I think it does scare me a little bit, but then I also want to think on the other side that if they do stay fit, I think we make the top 6. If they stay fit and available, we make top 6. If they don't, we don't. And that's on Edu and Arteta for not bringing in the midfielder, which I don't think they're going to bring in.
Terry, I have to stop everybody. Shout out to the comment section. They're killing me today, making me laugh. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you have to check out the YouTube video because they're killing me today.
I need to ask this question of the panel, and I want to go to Torch first because a lot of people want to know if Torch in the bottom left is still alive.
No, you know what? Yeah, sorry.
You're so still.
Apologies to everyone watching the football terrace.
One sec. Have you put earbuds in?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, take them out because earbuds don't work on StreamYard. They're a madness. They're a madness.
Can you hear me better now?
Hang on.
Much better.
Yeah, no. I said let me apologize to everyone on the football terrace first things first, because sorry, I was lagging in and out at the beginning like crazy, and I was just a bit nervous on the podcast. I didn't really know when to jump in and when not to jump in, and sorry, it must have just looking like I was staring at the screen. But no, apologies. In terms of the top 6 race,
I looked down a few times, and I didn't know if you'd frozen, and I just you hadn't frozen. I just see your eyes do this.
No, 'cause I really felt bad, didn't it? I really felt bad that I was lagging in and out, and I had to message you in the private chat. Like I felt bad, God. I didn't want to. Do you know what I mean? And I saw if I was smiling, so I didn't really. Do you know what I mean?
Yo, I'm dying by myself. Jess is talking about serious stuff, and I'm just crying. No one knows why.
Jess was talking, and I started laughing, and I was like, I was worried about an episode of yesterday again, because I'm not laughing at Jess. I'm laughing at Neeks' comment about is the guy in the bottom left okay? Sorry. Only because I kept lagging in and out. I didn't know when to jump in. Someone wrote a comment and just said rigor mortis, and I died. I died. It's cool. Listen, on this show, if someone's giving an opinion you agree with, disagree with, jump in, say, "Yo, can I go?" Whatever. Just don't feel like you have to stand on ceremony. And I always say this: you can challenge me as much as you want. People don't get banned from the terrace for falling out with me. Lying about me on the stream is a very
can't do that. Can't lie about Terry.
But it's one of them ones.
Also, you can't lie about Wolves, Jess, because they were sixth place. They hit sixth game week 13. So I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, got it.
They were there. You said until they do it, they've done it, bro. So.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Viewers, do us a favor. Get your betvictor app open. We are going to be putting on some bets very, very soon on the show. If you haven't done so yet, download the app now. There's multiple links in the description below for different odds. You can get the app downloaded through that. You can sign up to your account. If you do bet £5 today, you get a £30 free bet on top. Big shout out to betvictor for again making this show possible, and the astounding work they've been doing behind the scenes with our team at Snack to make this one of the biggest podcasts across social media, really. And the podcast, as we say, is just doing absolute bits at the moment, which I'm blown away by. So thank you to everybody. But there we go. And what were we even talking about? About Arsenal? This is what I was going to ask, actually. I want to go to
Arsenal not making any signings.
So yeah, no, but I wanted to ask
Rich,
a question.
coming from you, my guy.
Arsenal not making
Your
any
club
signings.
didn't make a signing for 2 years when you had your best manager. Stop it.
What do you think about
How are you getting triggered when you were saying the exact same thing about Spurs, bro?
Like,
No, but the reality
Why are
is
you getting so
Arsenal
wound
and
up about it?
Spurs are the Arsenal Spurs are the Spider-Man meme. That's what you guys are, bro.
KJ, deflection tactics. My guy, first of all, he is trying to bring up Arsenal when he knows his club doesn't make any signings. Chelsea's not making any.
Listen.
Okay, stop. Chelsea's not making any signings this window. Arsenal are going to make a midfield signing most likely, and it's going to probably be on loan. Manchester United aren't going to do anything. Liverpool are never doing anything. They don't do anything ever. So sorry, Liverpool fans.
Whoa. No, you never know, innit? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, over here, I'll be honest. We're FSG out, innit? But you never know with Liverpool. And if you check the history of Liverpool, some of our best signings have historically been in the January transfer. You look at Luis Suarez. You look at Virgil van Dijk. Someone mentioned it in the comments earlier. If I'm being 100% honest with you, no, like we probably won't sign someone in the January transfer window. But given Arsenal track record, we probably do have a greater chance than you guys, and that's just being straight. Because you don't talk to players and you mess up the deal. That's not Liverpool. We just get it done and sign.
Let me stop you right there. You have a better reality. You have a better chance of Mo Salah's contract being announced than you actually signing a player this window. That's the reality.
Yeah, we probably do, but Mo Salah signing a new contract is better than any signing that Arsenal could pull off. But the transfer window in general, anyway. So it's still a bonus on our side.
So since when is re-signing players a contract is signing now?
It's a signing, isn't it? You're re-signing the player, so you're signing. At the end of the day, man's sitting down, taking pictures. He's signing a contract. He's signing the thing, innit? He's signing.
Hey, Torch, don't do this to yourself, mate. Don't do this to yourself. Don't let Gal. Honestly, don't let Gal draw you to his level. I'm not going to sit here and defend Liverpool's sell to buy policy because it will be fake. Right? Me personally, I'm not with it because I don't want to look back in however 3-4 years when Klopp leaves and say all we won was a Champions League and a Premier League. I don't count the Club World Cup, no disrespect to it. But when you look at it in the broad day of it, it's the Champions League and the Premier League. I don't want to do that. And unless we do invest in the summer, not really January, I think we'll still have a strong end to the season. I'm still looking at 3 cups and maybe a Premier League. That's just me.
100%.
We're not going to notice that Igal, the politician here again, deflected from Arsenal.
Yeah,
first he
it
put
was
it onto
about
Patrick,
Arsenal. That's
and now he's talking about Liverpool.
Yeah,
this
that's
is what you
I said.
are,
That's
bro.
exactly what I did.
It's your turn, Igal. It's your turn.
What I was going to ask, I've been 10 minutes now. 10 minutes, we're going to ask it. We're going to ask the question. And it's a bit of fun. KJ. If Arsenal did finish 8th, how will it be spun?
Oh, how
How will it be spun into a positive? I want to know. I want to hear because PRFC. I want to know what we're saying.
They'll basically say like, but it's just another year for the young players to grow into to the top four candidates. We know that they are the title winning defense is just building itself. It was a tough season. He had postponements. We had COVID at the start of the season. Then we had a period where we weren't allowed to get postponements, and then we frauded the system. But then everyone was attacking us, and everyone's being mean to us. That put too much pressure on the players. And then next thing you know, we were out of the top 4 race, out of the top 6 race, and Arteta just had so much pressure on him. It's unfair, and the refs were against us. You can never forget that because they're always against Arsenal. All the red cards we never got, all the penalties we never got, all the injuries that happened to us. It was just so hard. But next year we'll come again. Will be our year.
Neeks has got it. He says was a free hit season. Season.
That was spot on, right?
What I'm looking forward to, I remember Liverpool did this once, and this was I think I want to say like 2010, 2011. A Liverpool website produced a league table, and this would be the league table if every time Liverpool had hit the post or the woodwork, if it had gone in instead, this is where they'd be in the league, and they were, instead of being like 6th, they were like 3rd. And I remember seeing that, and it was like, so if you didn't miss the target, right, you'd have been 3rd. I mean, just imagine that. Like, if anyone could do that. Do you know what I mean? If City had every shot on target this season, they might have maximum points.
They'll make a table. If all of our shots on target never got saved by goalkeepers, we would be atop of the league.
What are you saying, Patty? What do you think the spin will be if? And I'm not talking from all Gooners, because I know, for instance, Jess will be straight. Arteta's got to go. It's not acceptable. We know Lee Gunner is going to have a party if it happens, right? Some Arsenal fans are going to celebrate it. Some will be very honest, but you do know as well as I do, because I know you've had some of them come for you, bruv. Like even in the last, especially since your poll yesterday got hijacked.
Oh mate, yeah, that was Egal. Egal was one of the flipping Like
I put that in 4 group chats with like
one of the antagonists, and then I had people arguing me saying, "Oh, but it's a poll." I was like, "No, but that's the point. Was to actually ask a genuine question, not for Arsenal. It was basically who has the bigger pool right now, Tottenham or Arsenal."
And what's the answer?
If you, the answer is it got hijacked, so I can't give you the real answer.
There's someone defeated.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna lie, boys. Like, you both got rejected in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I know. We both got no pull at the moment.
Oh, Terry,
put that picture up again.
You might not get rejected, but once the player shows up, they lose a sense of reality. No.
Didn't Man United get rejected by Julian Alvarez as well?
Yeah, we get rejected all the time.
Once the player shows up, listen. Forget about getting rejected. Forget about getting rejected. Manchester United is the only club, when the player shows up, they go in utter depression. Alexis Sanchez wanted to leave. What do you call it? Di Maria wanted to leave. When
you've got your flipping club
captain went to Inter. When Lukaku went to Inter, let me land, Terry. Let me land.
You landed.
Lukaku went to Inter.
You're gonna land in shit, though, bro. You're landing in poo. You're landing in poo.
You're not even letting the people that are listening.
You're landing in poo.
Beautiful speech. Poo. Okay, so let me finish. Lukaku, when he went to Inter, what did he say? You guys saved us from shit. When Dan James went there, he said, I don't know what's going on. What do you call it? Anthony Martial, he wants to leave. Paul Pogba doesn't want to sign a new contract.
You had your club captain. You had your club captain wear your Arsenal shirt and then take it off to reveal another fan's shirt. You had Xhaka telling the fans to F off and threw the captain's armband on the flipping floor, bruv. You can't sit here and say, oh, we make Man United the only team that make players depressed. When you've got your club captain right now doing up no trips to Dubai, and guess what? Jack Wilshere's there, bruv. Jack Wilshere's on the trip to Dubai doing training, and your captain isn't. Don't talk about the
captain getting tattoos instead of turning up to training. That's how bad it was. It's during COVID as well.
I could continue. You know, I have like a whole list of these.
Gal, sorry, Gal, but to be honest, Jay, it's kind of hard to come back. You see, Xhaka, coming back from Xhaka is hard, but you do make a valid point about United and certain signings. They do come out very, very depressed. I have to be honest. Like, you even look at Jadon Sancho this season. it's a mad thing. Like, he's the shadow of the former player he was at Dortmund. Like,
Mate,
what do you guys put that down to? Like,
No,
not just
don't
him,
put it that-
all the
no,
other
no,
former players
no,
that go there with a
Torch,
spark and it
I've got it.
dwindles out.
Manchester United are one of the top 3 biggest clubs in the world. In England, we are the biggest club in England. The media pressure that you get put on your head, the fan pressure that you get put on your head is weight enough alone to make you feel a certain way. Then you've got the way the club is ran. There's no real support into guiding you through the season. We just got Ralf Rangnick came in. We just got a psychologist in 2022, bruv, or 2021. So all of these put together, if you want a reason why these things happen, there's the reason why. Now you know it's gonna.
So you're
take
saying
it.
not having a psychologist is why, like, a number of
No,
I'm saying it's part of the
let me
reason,
jump-
but yeah,
let me jump in here. Let me just
say.
say this now. Like, I look at it this way. Everything you've said about our players wanting to leave, not being happy, I know it's true. And it's all because we're not run right as a football club. The point of this conversation is any Man United fan that tries to spin players wanting out, us having 5 managers in 9 years, into a positive, are deluding themselves. The same as if any Arsenal fan spends 3 years on the bounce, finishing in 8th place, into a positive, is lying to themselves. I think that's the crux of this conversation and how we ended up here. If we go back to the beginning of it, it was a bit of fun. How will some, not all, some Arsenal fans try? I always look forward to the spin, and I have the consistency with my club. I've said all along, one of the reasons I want Ten Hag is I want to see, when he keeps playing McTominay, I want to see the eye test merchant spin it. I want to see what they then say to someone they rate as a manager playing someone they say is dead. I love seeing. But we talk with Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans just did, like, when J5 was awful. 7 months later, they're pitching him for Ballon d'Or. I love watching the spin. It's a beautiful thing to see people changing their tune every 5 minutes. But in terms of what we were talking about, to get into this great conversation, people. Who's going to be our bet here to make this top 6? It wasn't part of the agenda today, but we've kind of led into it organically. I do fancy a bit of Wolves, like you're saying there, KJ. To be honest, I'm fancying a bit of Wolves.
They're taking Man United out, right?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it could be. It don't matter who it is.
Let me put it this way: Do you guys fancy Wolves over West Ham?
It could be Wolves over West Ham, United, Spurs, or Arsenal. I don't care which 4. Right now.
I can't see it.
Right now, it is doable, Patrick. It may not be because they're super amazing, but we all know all 4 of those teams could go on such bad form that a team could creep up on them.
Yeah, 100%. We are all very inconsistent, but
so that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of. They could be consistent enough to creep in while we're inconsistent as hell.
What's more likely, the teams that are already in the top 6 being more consistent, or the teams that are below us being more consistent? There's a reason why they're there.
What's more likely, my uncle being my uncle or my auntie be my uncle? Like, you can ask those questions.
No, you have to answer the question. I mean, you dodged the question. What's more likely, the teams that have done better the entire season being more consistent, or the teams that have not?
The teams that have done better, yes.
The teams that have been inside is more likely for them to be
it's more likely.
And that's why I'm saying, like, so when you're making the bet, why wouldn't you go with what's more likely, which is the teams that have been more consistent over a longer period of time?
The only thing I'll say about betting for a team outside the top 6 is Wolves. Yeah. I think Wolves have a decent chance. Obviously, they made the whole.
He's gone. Torch, you still there?
Rigor mortis.
He's struggling today.
Someone called him.
Torch's set up yesterday was amazing. He had one of the wicked green screen. I thought that's how he was coming today. It's the wrong way up in the spare room.
What I'll say about that bet, Jess, in terms of that bet, if that one person didn't bet on Leicester winning the league from the start of the season, he would never have won. Betting is not always just about getting the sure thing. It's about looking at everything as like, right, what actually could happen? And right now, betting on Wolves isn't some stupid, deluded kind of wishy-washy thing like
I'm not saying it's stupid and deluded. I was giving an alternative. I was giving an alternative answer there. But you feel very like you're going for it. So why don't you put your money up on it, since you're so sure that Wolves are going to make it?
Listen,
Put your money out.
If I was a man who actually
Put
bet
your
it,
money out.
but I would do it, but I don't. That's what Terry's
I'll
for.
do it
fam,
for
know what I
you.
mean?
That's how
Terry
we
will do it for me.
We'll do it here.
There we go. There we go.
So we're gonna go with Wolves here, people. We're gonna go with Wolves.
Hey, come on
5-1, and we're gonna do a little one here, a little £3. I think a little £3 there, £18 return.
It's decent.
You know what I mean?
Decent.
That's done. That's locked in. That is finished. That's in. Now, this window's been interesting because there's a couple of more exits out of Manchester United that opens up a much wider conversation about the top four. Do we need to bring anybody else in as an example? Before we go into that, I do want to go back through some of these super chats because people have been very, very generous and I don't want to miss anything here. Where are we going? Where do I get up to? My nan's dinner tray. I don't know what that means, but thank you very
that
much.
might be the secret phrase.
Oh, right. Maybe. So love Liverpool. I'm not reading out your comments because they're ridiculous, to be blunt with you. So they're not being put up. They will say, remember, we're no echo chambers to football only. They will say, but nobody expected us to make top four. Is what Will Flex has got to say. 150 million spent season. Done. Champions League, no Champions League again, is what Aiden says. You can't spin another 8th place finish. It's a failure.
There will be spin.
That's true.
6th place will be a Conference League place if a team outside the top 6 wins the FA Cup. Thoughts? Can you imagine? Can you imagine you come 6th?
I know, that's very interesting.
However, though, it's almost, if you actually look over the last 30 years, a team outside the current best 4 teams in the league winning the FA Cup is a rarity. So it could happen, but very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. I reiterate, players of quality are thinking twice about coming to Arsenal because of the coach. I'll also add the coaching staff. Do you think that's what it is, Igal? Do you think it is that Arteta is the reason why some people are not considering coming?
No, because there's no guarantee for Champions League football. And some of these guys, if they're going to make a step up in their career, they want to be playing Champions League football. And I think if Leicester had Champions League football, Tottenham had Champions League football, they would definitely be able to attract some of these players over a team that's known, even if they didn't have Champions League football. If Juventus don't have Champions League football next year, they still will have pull. But if Inter are in Champions League, they're going to be able to attract better players.
I hear you. Loic Remy was shown around the Emirates and the training grounds, signed for Chelsea the next day. William was about to do a medical at Tottenham. Paul is what Pal's got to say there. Thank you to hear. I don't quite know what you mean, but another excuse. DT went to Jow.
As in if Arsenal didn't make the top 6 or top 4.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's what he meant. That's actually banter, you know. That's actually
that would be
that's
flipping. That's flipping hilarious.
That's dumb, but it's stupid.
RVP had grey hair playing for Arsenal. Adebayor sprinted to the away fans to troll your fans. Nasri and Ashley Cole became winners, leaving your club, is what Joshua Jack.
Giroud said, "Thank you, Arsenal, for winning a trophy for Chelsea, bro." So again,
love Liverpool here says unsubscribing. Well, look, your words about Jess, I'm not putting up and echoing because you're absolutely wrong. So if you're going to unsubscribe because I'm not allowing you to be rude about one of our hosts and one of our friends here at the Terrace, then toodle pip. Take care. I back my people publicly always. So
see you later, mate.
See you later.
See you later.
Do you know what I mean? It's done.
Sayonara.
Feel free to super chat again, but unsubscribe definitely. Do you know what I mean? So it's the truth set 3. Hope you're good. Says nobody cares. I don't quite know what you're referring to, but thank you very much for your super chat. We have another one that's just come through here. We had it. Here it is. It says Vlahovic to Juve. Adama pulling a Willian. Good transfer window so far. That's from Vidic.
Can I say something on Vlahovic?
CFC. Yeah, go on, mate.
If you guys remember, the whole thing about Vlahovic was if somebody else comes in to turn his head, he's going to end up going. So I don't know why people are surprised.
Hey, people, and there's the spin. We're talking about spin.
Yeah, that's the reality.
There it is.
Yeah, that's reality. But the reality is the one thing I'd say about Gooners of late, not all, but some, I've got to make sure I keep saying that, is you guys have got a banter personality bypass. It's gone. It's almost, we know in reality that it was an outside chance, but you're still going to get bantered. Like, it's just the way it is. You know, but you don't sound like it's fine.
No, I haven't been on. I haven't been on since, so I'm just saying.
I mean,
you got to take it on. You got to take it on the chin, man.
Take it on
the chin.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
What were you going to say? Jesse Lingard. I want to speak a little bit of Jesse Lingardinho because he's linked with a move to Newcastle. And this deal could happen. This deal is odds on to go through. We are going to take a look here actually with betvictor at what this actually looks like. And there is a distinct possibility this deal could go through. Newcastle are the odds on favourites to sign him this month. They're still available, I think. Yes, they are still available. They're 4 to 5 on. 4 to 5 on, as you can see here with betvictor to land Lingard. West Ham at 8 to 1, as you can see. The next English club linked to him is Tottenham at 16 to 1. Now, we kind of feel that deal's going to go through. We're going to put a little bit of a bet on that later. But a lot of the talk this week, people, has been more about Manchester United wanting big money. You're talking, they're valuing him at 50 odd million pounds. They're asking for a total of about 16.5 million if Newcastle stay up after signing him. And United have been getting stick. Man United have been getting stick from Newcastle fans and rivals and journalists along the lines of United are taking the proverbial. United are asking for too much money. They're taking the piss. They're trying to exploit Newcastle's situation. Are Man United wrong? Or is it all fair in love and war? What are we saying?
Oh, hell no, bro. Listen. The only thing United are wrong in is how they're treating Jesse. That's all they're wrong in. How they're treating Newcastle. Fam, them man came to us and said 50 M's for a Sean Longstaff. A Sean Longstaff, 50 M's, and the guy had hardly any appearance for Newcastle? Hell no. Newcastle fans have been so used to not having any money and not being able to spend, not being able to have peas. Now that they've got money and they're in the big boy ballers club, they can't take it. They can't handle it. This is what happens when you guys have peas, bruv. When you're flaunting it about, when you've got your big money owners, this is what happens. You will get fleeced, especially in the first few years. Happens to United, Chelsea, Man City. Now it's just happened to you. Yeah, you guys just do what you should be doing. Rejecting ridiculous offers, rejecting ridiculous terms, and moving on to a different target. You guys just have to suck it up, man. Suck it up. It will last a season, maybe 2 or 3 windows, and then people will realize, okay, they may have money, but they're not just going to pay whatever they want. All right, cool. Let's be reasonable. But to say, they've been so hard done by, that's so many, bruv, spend the peas if you want to survive, fam. Yeah, spend it.
Like Newcastle, Man United don't owe Newcastle any team any favors. At the end of the day, if you want to play with the big boys, you got to be able to put the money up. People know that Newcastle had the money, so why are they gonna sell him on the cheap or do you a favor? That's not how football works. You know what I mean? Like, Lingard is a good the thing is, it's annoying because Lingard is too good of a player to just sit on the bench and get 2 minutes or 3 minutes here or there. He showed last year at West Ham he's still a baller. He's a good player, and he actually surprised me of how good he is. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good. So it's a bit of a shame that he didn't obviously secure a move in the summer, but I understand Man United being in the Champions League, Ronaldo coming back, there was a lot of positives, and he obviously thought he could play his way into a decent position. It hasn't worked, so he does need to nick a move now. But at the end of the day, Man United don't owe Newcastle or any other team any favors. If you want him, pay the money. Simple as that. It's the same with any of us. If Arsenal want Vlahovic, for example, and they know he's valued at 70 million, put the money up. If we wanted Adama Traore and we knew that Wolves are asking for 27, put the money up. No one owes you anything. So yeah, that's how it is, isn't it?
Okay, I got to say this. When it comes to, there's 2 things that I'm going to look at it from. The Manchester United fan side, the ones that are saying, oh, why are we negotiating? We should just sell him. Relax. The club's going to negotiate. They have to negotiate. And from the other side, Newcastle, they are going crazy. They have bid for Zapata. They've bid for Bruno Kamara, supposedly. They've bid for like 4 players in a span of 1 day. And now Jesse Lingard and another one also, Carlos, a center back. So Newcastle are just trying to splash the cash any single way and form. So Manchester United are doing their job to try to get whatever money they can get from Newcastle. That is what you should be doing. And if Jesse Lingard leaves and Anthony Martial's leaving from Manchester United side, you guys are weakening your squad depth, and if Van de Beek also leaves, you're weakening your squad depth so much. If you don't bring somebody else in, you're actually hindering yourself in this window. You're not benefiting yourself, in my opinion.
But these are guys that never play, though. I hear what you're saying, but they never play. So
that is true. But then again,
they'll be back in the Champions League though in like a couple of weeks. So right now it doesn't look like you really need them because you're playing like one game a week. But it's going to get more, you know, they're still in the FA Cup. So towards the back end of the season, but I think they're trying to get rid of Donny van de Beek and Jesse Lingard specifically for some sort of expensive fee so that they could bring in like somebody. If they're going to bring in somebody, they have to they're going to try to get rid of a couple of players or wait until the very end, let those loan deals go through that they always knew were going to go through and say, damn it, we ran out of time, but this was the person that we were actually going after. That's how they.
That sounds about right.
Tottenham go for Jesse Lingard though. Jesse Lingard would do bits at Tottenham.
He would. Well, we've inquired, but again,
why did you guys go after him? Like that?
I think we did, but we're looking more in the summer. I don't think Man United are gonna do us any favors and loan.
No, yeah, we've come out and said any of our
they don't want to strengthen the rivals.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
So we're not gonna bother. So
that's it.
There's no point. But in terms of Jesse himself, as a Man United fan, I do feel for him. Like in terms of how, if I take Newcastle out of the equation, I just think about the relationship between Man United and Jesse Lingard. For a player that's come through the academy, from a player that has given his best to Manchester United, if the best is good enough, that's a different conversation. But he has given his best to the club. He wants to go. He wants to leave. He wants to play football, and not being able to find a solution. And I'm saying just bow down to any club's demands and let him go for free on loan and get nothing for him. But like, not to find a solution for him, I think that's when Man United. I look at my club and be like, all right, cool. You can do better. There are solutions out there. You're just not willing to find that. And okay, it's bantering Newcastle is cool because they got money. But say if another club comes in, that's not Newcastle, that definitely don't have the piece for that. Are you literally gonna say 15 million? Because if that's the case, that's when I'm like, that's harsh.
Do you know what? Sorry, I missed some of that. I've been speaking about this for years, and this just comes down to football fans educating themselves on what contributes towards the valuation of a player. And one of the biggest contributors is what they call sporting potential. What a player can bring to your team, what you can win with that player, and the monetary rewards at the end of it. And this is why I get frustrated with the big media outlets that when they're talking transfers, when they're talking transfer fees, it is brilliant to have ex-pros on explaining their situations, how they feel. It's brilliant to have, ex-managers, ex-pros. It's brilliant to have fans come on and give the fan opinion and to express that. What these big channels need to be doing now is bringing on actual experts to explain why things are what they are. So when you see a particular player who's quoted at 80 million and everybody on Twitter thinks he's only worth 50, explain what the extra 30 million, where it comes from. And things like sporting potential play a part. Man United's view is Newcastle United, you can stay in the Premier League. There's new TV money coming in from next year with this big deal that they've done in America, plus what there already is. It's worth £180 million to stay up. If you think Lingard's going to help keep you up, we want to be remunerated for that happening. If he was going to a mid-table team that are almost certain to stay up, you can't charge as much because with or without Lingard, they're staying in the Premier League, meaning the sporting potential is lesser because they don't need him as much. They're staying in the Premier League. They're going to get that Premier League money with or without Jesse Lingard. So it doesn't add the same kind of, but people don't ever want to hear this. Do you know, for me, not because they're not interested in learning, but it takes away frustration. It takes away anger. It takes away banter. It's a bit like net spend. If net spend was eradicated from conversation, people wouldn't be able to use it as a tool to beat people with, or a tool to elevate their successes, or as an excuse as to why fifth place is fine, because actually our net spend in the last 2 years has been good. It's all a load of bullshit. Newcastle will be in charge what they should be charged. My football club has hemorrhaged players for bad money for 10 years nearly. We've let good quality players leave for stupid money. And at first I was a little bit like, actually, we probably shouldn't do this. If you've got a player that's disgruntled and really wants to get out and he's a bit of a bad egg, and he's causing problems in the dressing room, you fall on your sword and you lose a bit of money or a bit of face to solve a problem. But when you don't need to get rid of someone, they're not causing problems, and I don't think Jesse Lingard is. Why damage your position in future transfer negotiations and bow down to what everybody else wants you to do. And look, and on Newcastle fans, listen, there's two things I've noticed with Newcastle fans over the course of this money that they've had come in. One, they're not handling very well randoms from other clubs talking about their team. They seem to be like, why you? I've commented on loads of Newcastle fan stuff. They're like, why are you chatting about this? Welcome to the big league.
Just signed a player,
Exactly. That's it.
Oh, Arsenal just signed someone who?
No. Sorry, my mistake. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted something about Matt, the New England Revolution goalkeeper Matt Turner. Final details and then done deal.
Who?
He's gonna come. He's gonna come in the summer, and Leno will leave in the summer.
Yeah, Patrick.
Come on.
Gal's now got you now. Now it's no longer the Spider-Man meme because he signed somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who is
a goalkeeper for the summer that
Just
no one's
to let
ever
you
heard
know,
of?
Matt Turner. I don't know. You know more about him? New England Revolution goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't feel like maybe this is probably not the right area to be trying to talk about it. Because people, oh my God, he's American. He's probably terrible. He's a good backup goalkeeper. Move on.
There you go, Gal, you got shut down.
I don't think him being a Yankee is anything. It's more, it's just, you need a midfielder or a striker. Can he play in midfield? That's what I want to know.
Hey, buy Edison alone, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. Edison could do that. Edison could play in
This
midfield.
whole thing about people crying for Newcastle, this is not a dig at Newcastle. Shut up, man. Like, we should be charging what we're charging. What we should be getting for players. And Man United shouldn't be bending over backwards to help anybody out. They really, really shouldn't. We have some more super chats here. I don't want to miss these because there's some such generous donations that have come through. I'm glad United are doing this because I'm tired of us losing players for cheap, is what McAvee has got to say. Terry, when you get your hair, will KJ be pulling it again?
I don't know if he's trying to say I make you pull your hair out or what, but no, I will be not pulling anything on Terry at all.
Yeah, that's not for you. This here says, I'm DT's cellmate. I can confirm he's okay. He had a run-in with Big Bertha after dropping the soap yesterday, but he's all good. Is he good enough? Is what Trevon's got to say there. No Serie A knowledge. Not football again from Mr. Igal. Inter signed R9 without Champions League, my guy. Inter bigger than your Arsenal. 19 league titles, 3 Champions Leagues is what he's got to say there. What's your response to that, Igal?
Insecurities right there. I literally literally. What's going on? I just mentioned it as an example. Calm down.
I love you again. I'll never change, bro. Never change.
Love Liverpool is back with a big donation. Says Chelsea fans love Jess. We love you, Jess. This is for you. So changed his tune completely.
Oh, that's nice.
Didn't change his name though. He should have changed it to Love Chelsea.
Thank you. Matt Turner is a quality shot stopper. If the US produces one position, it's solid. Goalkeepers. He must be able to baseball. I don't know. Man United will not win anything major as long as the Glazers are here. That's facts. Fans are 100% to blame because they lowered the standards. Glazers won is what Nabil's got to say. United are just like McDonald's. They are still massive, but not quite how you remember them as a kid. It might be run by clowns, but great for temp work. I mean, that's actually a very, very, very good analogy.
That's a very good
analogy of Man United.
Very
but
well
on the odds here, people, Jesse Lingard, as we can see here, is almost a certainty with the bookmakers to go to Newcastle United. Do you all fancy that to happen? Will they pay the P's?
They will not pay the P's.
Yeah, I don't think they want to get.
So you got any Spanish, Italian, or German club as well? Any French club?
I think he's going to end up staying.
Do you think he'll stay?
I think he'll stay. I just don't think Newcastle will.
I feel like we'll get a move, but I'm not too sure where. I feel like at the end of the day we'll cave, but not.
You lot are playing hardball. You lot are playing, and obviously we wanted them as well. You're not going to give him to us right now. There's no way.
Yeah, but look at the teams that were wanting him and the reasons why we rejected it.
Yeah.
You guys are direct rivals to us right now.
100%. Yeah.
And Newcastle, in our eyes, clearly will be rivals to us.
Yeah. And obviously,
So-
West Ham are direct rivals as well.
Yeah, direct
so
rivals too.
So it's tough. So
if
I
a
don't think he's
Southampton
going to
came
go.
in, if a Southampton came in or a Brighton or someone like that,
Or even at
I don't-
Everton.
I don't see them saying no.
But will they
to
come in
that.
though? That's the problem. I
Mm.
don't know. I think he's going to end up staying. You know, I just don't see. I mean, there's 3 teams already that want him, and you guys obviously aren't going to do it for obvious reasons. It makes sense. You got to protect yourself as well and protect your asset. If
Yo,
Newcastle
Terry,
want him,
Yeah.
put a cheeky bet, and this one's a shot in the dark. Put a cheeky bet on like a German team coming in.
what's the odds on him staying? Is there that as well?
There's no
No,
odds.
they don't do odds on that. They don't do odds
Okay.
on staying, which I think is a fair. I mean, that's quite good of them, really, because it's almost just you either bet for him to leave or you don't bet. It's pretty good from betvictor, to be fair. You know what
Fair
I mean?
enough.
I mean, a German club at 16-1. You know, a little £1.50 bet. I think it's a really good.
Why German though? Out of all,
Has he ever been linked to a German team before?
no.
It's not,
Why
it's not
German?
about them being linked to a specific country. It's more of we don't really know what's happening in the European transfer market. Like we've seen a lot of English players go over to Germany in the past on loans or on transfers. So a German club may lose a player and they're like, actually, you got a Jesse Lingard there. Giving
I
him
think
a
the German league has been the most inactive of probably all the leagues in terms of their January transfers. I would bet more maybe
Italy.
I think he stays or doesn't go. Like he stays or he has to go somewhere in the Premier League. I can't see it. Because where is he going to go in France but beyond PSG? Like, you know what I mean? It's Jesse Lingard.
Leon maybe. Like they look like they could do stuff if they get that Bruno money. Like I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Like I'm not really big on.
I didn't realize.
Team,
I
so.
mean, it could. I mean, I think Lingard might leave personally. I think he could. I think he could definitely go. But viewers, the link's in the description below for that. We've just put a little bit on there in any German club. I just wanted to touch on some other transfers that are circulating as well. There's also the situation with Donny van de Beek, as we can see here, 2 to 5 on to join Crystal Palace. Do we see that deal happening? And is it the right place for Donny? What are you saying, Igal?
Crystal Palace would be sick for him because this is a guy who would fit in perfectly. Those late runs into the box, and Crystal Palace, they use their midfielders high up the pitch to score goals, so he would fit in perfectly. You get to see him actually being more of an attacking outlet and an attacking threat than what he's been doing at Manchester United, playing almost as a double pivot at times and sometimes playing out wide. He's going to have some consistency with Vieira being a good manager. And I think this is a good move for him. I feel like he's been wasted at Manchester United, and hopefully this is one step forward to bringing him back to what he was at Ajax.
What about yourself, KJ? Do you think, I mean, what's been interesting about Man United's loan deals is they're all with no obligation or no option to buy. They're all coming back to Man United in the summer. Do you think Palace represents a good opportunity for him to get that? You know, everyone said we want to see him get 5-6 games on the bounce to see whether he can do it in the Prem. I prefer it personally to be at Man United, but is this almost the second best option?
Yeah, I think it is. You got Crystal Palace, who are right now under the management of Patrick Vieira. They're playing very good football. They got a young, youthful side after like losing a load of players. And I think it'll be the best place for him. Like they also play 4-3-3, so that's a system that we're looking to adapt to and potentially bring a manager in to play. So it'll be a perfect move for him. Gets him used to the Premier League because clearly he ain't getting used to it via training. You know what I mean? So he needs games and we need to see him how he adapts. And the good thing about Martial, Van der Beek going without obligation to buy, and also Ahmad out there, Ahmad Army. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, Rangers loan. The good thing about those players not going with obligations to buy or options to buy is because Man United are clearly saying in the summer when the manager comes, he will get the chance to pick who he wants. And say if we did get Ten Hag, imagine if we got Ten Hag but sold Donny in January. Like it wouldn't make no sense because that's a player that he loves and he's developed. And I firmly believe Ten Hag would use Donny van der Beek a lot more. So I think it's the best place for him to go, get regular game time in the Premier League, show everyone what you're about. And then if the new manager happens to be a Ten Hag or maybe a Poch who may really like your profile, you've just helped your cause a lot by playing football and there is still might be the sliver of hope and life in Donny van de Beek's Man United career. Just this loan is important, though. It has to be done.
Yeah, I agree completely. And one of the others that we wanted to look at, and I wanted to get an outsider's view on this, is a player heavily linked with Man United in the last few days, and that is Kamara. He is odds. Man United are the favourites. He isn't odds on to join. United are the favourites at 3-1 to bring him in. Does anybody see that deal happening at all? Can anyone see Man United making a significant signing this window?
No, not really.
You're not signing anyone, Terry.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I just think with the quality you have, it's going to be very hard to get a player of that magnitude in, unless you get some players out. And then, I don't know, because you still got Pogba that hasn't really featured. He's still yet to come back in. I just think your squad's already quite packed, and to get another player in is going to be tough.
Yeah, this is going to be nothing.
Yeah, sorry, my computer bugged out again there. I did hear what you said.
Let me just add this, Terry. I said this earlier while you were gone. I really do think Manchester United are going to do more harm to themselves this window than help themselves by getting rid of all these players, not getting any signings in. You're reducing the size of your squad, and if injuries come, you're going to now have a situation where you don't have as big of a squad, and you might not have as much squad depth come your tough times later on in the season.
My only counter to that is that something we saw a bit on the Ollie and then he stopped doing it. RALF really loves our youth system. Oh no, I'm sorry, our youth systems, our youth players. There's a couple of youth players that he really likes, Elanga being one of them, and then you got Hannibal as well, who's currently on international duty with Tunisia in AFCON. If Van der Beek goes and Jesse goes and Elanga goes, I think in our club's mind, especially in RALF's mind, he's got two bodies already there, like, to go. So I get what you're saying about the lack of maybe quality in backup, but in terms of bodies, RALF ain't afraid to use what we have. And you can say that's a bad or good thing because Puppet and all of that, blah, 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 but we've been screaming for youth players for a while now to get their chance, and RALF is slowly giving them to him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of Hannibal Medbury in the next few weeks after he comes back from AFCON. Terry is gone. Right, he's
literally.
Terrace. It's over. Oh no! So who gets the Terrace now? Me or Jess? Because he ain't gonna be you two. So
You.
Okay. Oh, he's back. What?
Lucky KJ, your run was short-lived.
I'll just keep it in the back for a little bit longer, just so I can just feel the power. You know what I mean? No. Stay there.
No, sorry, because my system's really bugging really bad, so it's hard to actually finish the show right now because it's not even the internet, it's the computer. I need a new one so badly. It's just like if I click on anything, the whole thing just seems to want to shut down. So sorry. A few people are asking in the comments section about the odds on the next Everton manager. They are available in the description below with betvictor. I think the favorite right now is I want to say it's Pereira. Mad what's going on there, though, with the kind of Everton fans seem to really want Lampard. Is anyone shocked by that?
No, I think he's the best option out of what's available. He did well at Chelsea. I know Chelsea fans weren't happy with him, but I thought he did quite well, considering they was on a transfer embargo and he got them top four. After that, it did kind of ravel, that it did kind of not go as well as it could have, but proven, young, plays a decent style of football. Obviously, the players will buy into him because they know he's a Premier League legend or football legend anyway. I think it's a good shout, and they kind of get them back on track, quickly. So I think it would be a good look.
Yeah, Patrick, you reckon say if they sign Lampard tomorrow, you reckon they could convince like an Oscar, like Gerrard with Coutinho is like Lampard and Oscar?
Yeah, I think
to Everton.
I think Lampard will have a strong pull with some players. Like he's a brilliant footballer, Premier League legend, Champions League legend. I think he could do well there, and he get the players playing definitely because what is it? Benitez was never the guy. I didn't understand that signing or that appointment to begin with.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah, absolute crazy one. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has tuned in. Patrick, Egal, Jess, KJ. I'm not too sure what happened in the end with Torch. I'll have a chat with him later. Thank you. A big shout out to betvictor for making the show possible. All of our super chatters, a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Sorry, the show's ending a little bit shorter than normal. It's a real system issues here for me. But until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Good.